Alright, first up is Nicole, and Nicole asked for an undated fall spread, so I'm pulling out this brand new seasonal love sticker book from Live Love Posh. There is a January through June and a July through December book. These just released. They are sold out, but they are restocking within a couple of weeks, and you can sign up on the Live Love Posh website to be notified. I'll have my affiliate link in the description, and you can always use code Michelle10 to save 10% off on your orders, excluding bundles, Posh boxes, or sets. So if you want to be notified when they're restocked, just click the link in the description. And I always appreciate your support when you shop through that link at no extra cost to you. But this is a gorgeous set in here in the July through December book. It's perfect for fall. I love these colors, like the yellow sunflowers and the orange, and then that pretty sort of light teal color. So I'm going to start out with this big corner piece to really make a statement over here in the corner, and I'm using a Kelova Plan Undated extension pack, and I'll be sure to include my Kelova Plan affiliate link in the description also. So I'm going to grab this other large corner piece and put this over in the opposite corner. So we have just a pretty, almost a border all the way across with just these two pieces. And I moved this side down just a little bit. I'm going to trim off some of the bottom just to give you a little bit more room for function, Nicole. But this group is so pretty, and these books, they include so many different elements, like the stickers, and then there are the sticker paper that you can tear in the different patterns, and the like washi tape strips, the boxes, the clusters, even the letters that go with it, like those large letters. So I'm just trying to find something to put here to finish out the border on this side that would flow nicely. I'm just trying out a couple of things. I think I need something with more different elements in it. So I'm going to grab this other little cluster and just use part of it. And just trim that off. Of course, save it to use somewhere else. And we are in vacation in Florida when I'm filming these two patron spreads in our camper, so that's why I'm doing a voiceover, just because there's too much background noise and outside noise going on. So I figured I would just walk you through this way, and then I'm going to use the rest of that sticker over on the other side, but trim a little bit off so it flows evenly. And then that'll be the borders for the bottom, and I think it's so beautiful. I love how it gets taller on the corners. And now I want to start with the top, because these are just so pretty. I want a lot of the flower cluster leaves and pumpkins in this spread. And I'm not going to make as large of a border on the top. I just want it to be just a shorter border so I can, you have more room for function. And then I'm going to put this over here in the corner. I went ahead and cut that for the corner on the other side. You get so many stickers with each group. I actually used the first book, the January through June, to create my spread for last week. And I did that on a live patron plan with me. We have that once a month, and we had that while I was here in Florida, and we had so much fun. The stickers are so pretty for each of the seasons, and I used like that summery group with the monstera leaves that have like the tropical vibes. So I'm just filling this out across the top with little scraps here and there. I've already gotten the right side done. I just need a couple more things for this side, or maybe a long piece. Then I want a little bit more, variation on heights with different things a little bit longer than the others. So I'm going to use this little branch, trim it and put it under that rust colored floral sticker. this is such a pretty color combo. I love the blue with it. I'll just tuck that under there so it looks like it's part of it. Okay, now something for over on this side. Well, actually I want to add some more of those little branches. This is a smaller one. I'm going to trim that to fit right in there between the leaf and the flower on the left side. Okay, perfect. And I think just a little bit of this sticker will be perfect to finish our border on the top. There we go. That's perfect. I think I want one more of those little branches. I'm going to use this blue right here in between those two stickers or flowers. And then get started on some function. All right, I'm going to start with this full box in the teal or the soft blue, bluish green. Put that right here. And there are some boxes too that are patterned and already have like clusters and other decorative elements with them, but I just wanted to go with these. So I'm going to use also this rectangle burgundy box with that, and one of these slender boxes in that mustardy color. And get a little cluster going here. And I'm using a little UNDU adhesive remover to lift up the edge of this sticker because I'm going to use another one of those rectangle boxes going this way here. And I'm going to use the full burgundy box over on the right. I'm going to put it up a bit higher so it's not right across from the one on the other side. And then I'm grabbing a rectangle in this blue color, trying to figure out if I want to put it down at the bottom on Sunday or layer it off of that full box, and I think I'm going to go with that, layering it there. And I think that's all the boxes that I need, so I'm going to go ahead and draw some lines using my Happy Planner stencil and just a ballpoint pen that has sort of a finer point, and I will link those in the description as well as the UNDU. So I'm going to put some up here on Monday. I'm trying to decide between Wednesday or Thursday. So I'm going to put them here on Wednesday, and I'm not going to add lines to the full boxes this time. I'm going to use some of those little checklist bars that in the coordinating colors, and then I'll do some here on Thursday because since I took up some of the room on the bottom, I want lots of function for you, Nicole. So this is when I decided to go ahead and use these little checklist bars. I really like these because they're really slender, they're not real chunky. So I'm going to just put it right here on the side instead of adding lines, so it has a little bit more structure since it's a larger box. And then I was deciding, did I want to do that over here or add lines? And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing, and I really like the way it turned out with using those. I thought about putting this longer checklist strip over in the sidebar, but I just wasn't digging the way it looked. I prefer, if I'm going to do function in the sidebar, to have just like a long box. But I think we have enough anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and use that in this box and just have to trim off some of it. Yeah, I like the way that looks layered with the same color of the box. And just trying to figure out where to add some lines here on this side. I'm going to go ahead and put some on Friday. Just a few, not a full set. And right here, a few more on Saturday. And then I want to have, I think, get that middle section to be decorative, most of it. And for bullet points, I decided to go with this mustard color, and I'm going to put a couple here on Monday. Since we didn't use either of the larger size boxes in that mustard color, so I think that was a good color to kind of balance everything out. And then I want to put a couple on Thursday. And on Sunday, and then I think we're covered on all the other days. I think we have enough function. So I wanted to do a quote in the sidebar, a long quote, and at first I was thinking that I would do these letters spelling out fall vibes because they're so pretty, but it wouldn't fit, so I decided to do something else. So I'm pulling the letters for fall using a different color for each letter, except for I did have to repeat on the L, the second L. I'm going to take this hello fall quote and then cut the hello off, and then just use the hello from the quote and then spell out fall with those colorful letters. I love a big quote in the sidebar. So just put that there and then go ahead and spell out fall. Aren't those pretty? And they're the perfect size. If you could even do like a short word in your spread somewhere, make a little banner with them. I just love them. All right, and now I want to go back to that section, get some more deco, these little leaves falling. Put this one here for now, and a little bit of a smaller cluster. All right, so I'm just putting a little bit of this cluster up here, and I'm going to trim that off. Maybe just a couple of more things will fill out the sidebar. Got a little scrap here that'll be perfect. If I could get it on there straight, there we go. And I've got another little leaf I'll put down here. Fits perfectly right there. And now I want to get a couple of quotes. So there are a variety of quotes for the different seasons in this book, and I'm going to grab this cozy season and put it right up here on Wednesday. I think would be good. Don't need a lot of quotes since we have the big quote in the sidebar. And I'm going to use some of this large sticker to make washi tape. Now I looked in here to see about the washi tape strips, and I must have flipped right by them because I saw after I had done the video there's an entire page of different patterns including this plaid, so could have saved a step on that, but I must have overlooked it. So I'm going to put that from this box over to the far right of the page, or right to that line anyway. I'm trying to figure out where else I want to put it. Alright, so I'm thinking over here on the right on Friday would be a good place to pick it back up. And I tried to cut it the same way all the way across. I'm going to trim that off because it was a little bit over. So I'm going to put it over here. I was thinking originally Monday all the way across Tuesday. I'm going to trim that and see how it looks. But then after seeing it, it's a little bit too much, so I'm just going to take it all the way across Monday, trim off Tuesday. So I think I like the idea of dropping it off and then picking it back up on the lower level, so I'm going to take it on Sunday all the way across and trim it off. Okay, and then I decided after looking at it, it was a little bit heavier on the right as far as deco, so I'm going to take this little piece of cluster, like leaves and flower cluster up, and I found the cutest, this little fox mug that I'm going to put there to sort of fill out the space better. And y'all, it is so cute with the sunflowers and everything, and it still has a little bit of room to write if you need to do that, Nicole. But I'm going to add a couple of scraps here to finish it off. You know, to keep our border consecutive. Oh my gosh, so cute. I love squirrels and foxes for fall. Any kind of forest animals, they make it so cozy and cute. So I've got a couple of more scraps I'm going to drop off here on the sidebar just to fill it up. And I'm thinking Foxy here, Foxy with some pumpkins to fill out this spot. Don't like how it's blank on the right, so I'm thinking about a little black and white like branch scrap to go there. More scraps over here in the sidebar. And then I found something else that I think would be cuter than Mr. Fox. So I'm going to pull him up with some Undo adhesive remover and our scrap. This wagon, y'all, is, to me, it's the epitome of fall. Loaded up with pumpkins. It's so cute. And it says right beside cozy season. So I think that's what I'm going to go with there. Just going to kind of adjust it where it fits better. Love it. And then I'm going to fill up this middle part with deco. So I've got some pumpkins and leaves and florals I'm going to put there. I do want to finish it all the way across to the tape, so I'm trying some different things. I wanted that lantern, and there were several lanterns in this group, but each one was too big, one was too small. This one was perfect, but I just needed to trim around it, do a little sticker surgery, take off the pumpkins and add it to the pumpkins and the flowers that I have there. Tuck it under, and then I want to add one more scrap to sort of finish it off and make it look like it's one continuous sticker. Okay, and I think this is going to do it. So pretty. I feel like it's super balanced. And I'm trying out this little floral scrap over here, thinking I'd like to continue it all the way across with the washi, but I don't really love it. I'm thinking it's a little bit too cluttered, so why not add a little scraps on the side here, because we've got scraps over on the right. Just going to pick that up and trim a little bit of the excess off. There we go. A little bit more to build it up where it's kind of gradually coming up on the side. Perfect. Then this quote said, "Hello, fall." I wanted to originally put "I love fall," but it wouldn't fit, so I just thought fall. Fall's a good quote. So now I'm just finishing off with different little scraps and finishing touches on the top of our washi here and on the top of this kind of teal box over on Sunday. I made a couple of flags out of the little headers that say "to do" just by trimming off the excess and making a little V shape. And then I added 2 of those in the mustard and then added this in the teal. That is going to be Nicole's cozy fall spread. I absolutely love how it came together. I think this sticker book is so beautiful. I hope you love it too, Nicole. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. All right, next up is Bobbie, and Bobbie requested a hand lettering spread using fall words. So I made up these fall words on Procreate and then imported them to the Cricut and added them on these rectangles in fall colors. And I'm going to use this gorgeous Autumn Charm sticker book. This is from Porter Art Design, and it is so pretty. I'll be sure to include the link, and you can always use code Michelle15 to save 15% on your orders. But I saw the perfect stickers in here, this coffee set, and then there are tons of beautiful autumn leaves. I'm going to incorporate and make this a really cozy fall hand lettering practice spread. I was looking at these raccoons because I know Bobbie loves raccoons and they're so cute. But I'm going to start out with some of these watercolor leaves and coffee images in this set. Trying to make sure like the artwork and the images match up, and I think they're going to go together perfectly. So I'm going to use this set of branches over in the corner to get us kicked off. Then I'm trying to find a coffee image to go perfectly with this. The leaves that I put down are sort of a lighter color, kind of watercolor. So at first I was thinking I'd go with one of these cream color coffees, but then I thought for contrast, let's go with a darker brown cup that has a steam coming up, and put that right here with possibly something in the middle, like a scrap or something. Look at those cute Halloween stickers and Thanksgiving, so cute. But I'm going to get back to these leaves. So I was thinking maybe possibly this leaf would fit perfectly. I'm going to go ahead and trim those off, and I always keep my scraps because they come in handy, especially if you're trying to do like a decorative border. So I'm going to take those apart and keep them just for when I need them. Then I've got this branch that has also some coffee beans on it. I'm going to have coming off of that steaming coffee cup. Look how cute. So even what I cut off of this, they're going to be perfect scraps for somewhere else. So I'm going to keep those. And the paper I'm using, it's just some 32-pound paper. I'll have that linked in the description. And I made the hand lettering like dotted line template on Canva. And I put that in the front and back. So there's plenty of room for you to practice, Bobbie. And I know sometimes I go a little crazy on the decorations because that's what we do. And I just want everyone to know that there's plenty of room on the back to practice. The exact same template, and it's completely blank. So I have another gorgeous coffee image here. I'm going to put next to this light brown leaf set. Trim off the excess. Again, another valuable scrap. Okay. Now I feel like we're going somewhere. We've really got the border kicked off, and I want to put a little bit more here. I don't want the border to be exactly the same. In other words, I don't want it to be a leaf scrap, a coffee, a leaf, a coffee, a leaf, a coffee. I like it to be a little bit more organic. So I'm going to try to vary it a little bit. So I'm going to tuck this under the coffee and trim off the excess. Then now I'm looking for another coffee. So I think I'll use 2 on this side, so it won't be exactly a replica of the other side. Trim that off. Then there are when those cute little coffee beans come into play. I think those are perfect, and it looks like just a hint of the coffee beans peeking up. Put those there to finish out that side. And now I want to go ahead and build our border around. With Bobbie's hand lettering spreads, I like to make the outer border completely decorative all the way across the bottom, the sides, and the top, since the middle part is mostly for function or hand lettering practice. So I'm looking for some leaves to finish out here. So this is from another set, but I think it goes perfectly. It's still the watercolor, and it's a little bit of a more vivid orange. I'm going to put that there. And this like coffee stain or coffee spot right underneath it to really reinforce the coffee theme, because what goes better with fall than coffee and leaves? So I'm going to move this over a little bit. See how perfectly, I think that fits really pretty. It looks like it might just really be a leaf falling. And then I'm going to add a leaf here, trying to figure out the best direction. I don't want it to be exactly like the one opposite from it, so I'm going to tilt it a little more the other way and trim off the excess. Then I've got a scrap to use somewhere else. Might as well start on the top. And then this is that leaf I had before, trying to figure out a way it would look like it was really falling, where it doesn't look exactly like the leaf on the other side, and I think that's perfect. And I had a scrap left over to go on the right corner and to fill in here. Love it. That's so pretty. Then bringing these leaves up to the top from the other set in the same sticker book, and I've got another one of those branches that have the coffee beans. So we had that first one over on the right, might as well put this one on the left, have everything sort of evenly balanced, and have that in the corner and trim off the excess. Okay, and here is where I found this coffee cup. It's a little bit of a different style of image, so I thought I'll put this on the side, like a coffee mug from the top, just peeking onto the page. And I think it looks really cute. I'm going to trim the excess off. There we go. Grab that and carry it on over onto the other side. And I think that makes a big difference when you use the same sticker cut apart from one side to the other. It just reinforces the whole theme. And now I've got my hand lettered words here that I did on Procreate. I got fall, crisp, bonfire, sweater, cozy, boots, leaves, thankful, and pumpkin. I usually do about 10. So I'm going to grab the leaves here, put it up at the very top. And I try to do a variety of different lettering styles. So I'm going to use this bonfire here because I always think of a cozy bonfire when it comes to fall. So I'm going to put this over toward the middle of the page. So not everything is on the perimeter. And I'm finding another word in an alternate color and something that would go good with that, because I've got 3 different colors here. Got like sort of a mustard, a tan, and a peach. So I'm going to use sweater here, layered off of the bonfire. Then I've got a scrap here, be perfect to put here. This is a scrap from the coffee blot or coffee stain. I'm going to add up here with the leaves. Just trim that off. All right. And I want to go ahead and finish it down the side. So I have a leaf scrap that's going to be perfect on the leaves hand lettered rectangle, and then a little bit more of these coffee beans that'll be pretty up here. So just hold on to your scraps and they're going to fit in somewhere else, almost always. Okay, so I'm going to bring another word in. This is cozy, and I've hand lettered that sort of like the long stretchy script. Trying it up here with the leaves in the peach color, but I'm thinking I'm going to move it down underneath this coffee and right there above the leaves. I like to kind of space them out evenly and trim off the excess so it looks like it's just kind of sliding or peeking onto the page. Then I want one more, because since I usually do 10, I want to do 5 on one side and 5 on the other. So how about crisp right there, spaced out a little bit. And just trim that off. They're all coming in at different angles. Now for over on the right, trying to go ahead and decide what I want at the top. Actually, I wasn't even thinking I would put any at the top, but this one is short, so the word fall goes perfectly up here. I just wanted to get it just turned the right way where it fits in perfect with the leaves. And it's all about just trying it one way or the other, and whatever way you feel looks the best. And then I've got the word boots, because we have to have boots in fall. I'm going to have that layered off of the word fall. Then we've got thankful. And when I was lettering these words, I was hanging out with Dale, my husband. We were watching TV, and I said, what else do we need for fall? Thankful. And we came up with these together, and I think they're perfect for, if I had to guess or come up with 10 fall words, I think these would be, again and again, the ones I'd choose. So I've got pumpkin and spice. I like that those are kind of together because everybody thinks pumpkin spice for fall. I'm going to trim those off. And then now I just want to fill in. fill in all the blank spots. I'm trying this orange leaf up here. I'm like, I don't know, it just didn't feel right, especially with the leaves that I have on the leaf sticker underneath. So I thought I would layer it off the bonfire and sweater here in the middle. Just got to get the placement right, just to where I think it looks right, where it's layered off a little bit off of everything and not too much is cut out. So put that down, and I'm going to go ahead and get my craft knife and trim through the center there. I didn't have a mat or anything, so I'm just using super light pressure. Not quite, so I'm gonna go turn it over and do it on the other side. Then it should be perfect. And there we go. I love the look of something falling down the center of the page too. Okay, so I'm moving pumpkin because I decided I would like another coffee on this side resting on top of that pumpkin sticker, so I moved it down a little bit so it would fit in between the boots and the pumpkin. Got to get it trimmed off, and then grab this gorgeous Autumn Charm sticker book and find another one of those beautiful coffee stickers. I love this with the beans on the saucer, so I'm going to just put that right there where it's sort of layered off the pumpkin and the boots, and it's just kind of connecting all of the stickers there. All right, so now I'm rethinking the placement of the spice and the thankful. So I'm going to try some different placements here. Pick it up as gently as I can. If it won't come up easily, that's when I'll pull in the UNDU adhesive remover, which comes in super handy. And I'm going to put that a little bit down further. And I'm just looking for another element to connect the two other than a leaf or a coffee. So I'm back into this group, and I thought this little acorn would be perfect. Looks like it's just falling down with the leaves. I really wanted to use these glasses because Bobbie wears glasses, but I never felt like they fit in right anywhere. So I'm going to use some of these leaves here to fill in, to kind of pump the side border up and trim that off. Go ahead and get all the excess off the sides. So now I've got a pretty big scrap here I'm going to try to use to fill in my border or to use somewhere. And if I don't see a place right away, I'll hold on to it. So in this case, I grabbed another one of these yellow and orange watercolor leaves. I'm trying this out different places. Right here in between the hand lettered word and the coffee, I think it's going to really fill in nicely. So I'm going to trim that off and of course save that. I had so much fun with this spread, and it really came together easily with this sticker book. It had all the elements Bobbie asked for. So I'm trying this leaf out here, and then I think it's going to fit perfect if I remove this leaf. I wasn't loving how everything was sort of the same color, and I felt like we needed more of the brighter orange with those leaves from the other set. So I'm taking this up with a little undo. I'm going to put this here to break up some of the monotonous neutrals and tans and browns. Then I have another little coffee splotch or spill trying to work in over here to fill in this side. Just kind of move it around till I feel like it looks cute, and I feel like that perfectly framed that coffee cup. I'm going to use that there. And then I thought, well, I want one more coffee over here. It started to bother me that this coffee, it's a kind of an entirely different kind of illustration. So I took that up, and I wanted to just use those same coffee cups from the same set. So I'm going to move our leaves up, the leaves word, as well as the actual leaves. Take up the coffee, put it back in the book because I can still use that. And then the thing is, I didn't want it to be right across from the coffee over on the other side, across from the word pumpkin. So I'm going to move this down a little bit. I'll move our leaf up. and then put our coffee there. So it's not exactly on the same line across from the other, and it's a different coffee, and I think it looks so cute and natural and cohesive, so I'm going to trim that off. I think it's coming together so cute. So we have an acorn on the right, so I thought, well, we should probably have one on this side just to make it even. So I'm going to trim off a little bit and have it falling down at a different angle than the one over on the right by the spice word. There we go. Perfect, landing on the bonfire. And then I've got a perfect scrap to go here, and that breaks up, again, those same sort of brown tan leaves with the orange and the yellow. This is a scrap from that other coffee I took up, so if I'm not going to have the other coffee, I'm going to go ahead and move that. Another little coffee blot that'll fit perfect there to fill in on the side. Trim off the excess. We are about to wrap it up. The stickers are so cute, y'all. Okay, so I have another one of these beautiful orange leaves. Try to figure out where I want to bring that in, because I do have one in the center, in the spine, but I don't want them too close together because they're kind of the same leaf. So I'm going to bring it over here, falling at a different direction, and then put this brown branch right above it. And y'all, I love the way this came together. I feel like it came together so easily. Watching it back, I'm like, yes, this was fun. So I've got this scrap here. Might as well put it on the spice word, just hanging on there. It looks so cute. And fill in with some extra scraps just in the little spots. Tiny scraps here. And I've got one more of these kind of mustard and orange leaves. Put there at a different spot and add in our scraps. To me, they really pull everything together. All right, so I love using these. They're sort of like brass tacks, or in this case, kind of a pewter kind of push pin. I'm going to use a few of these on our words to look like they're tacking them up. So one on the bonfire, and then I'm going to grab one and put it on cozy or leaves. And I like to place them either, not in the same spot, either to the left or the right, like it's really haphazard. Put this on the spice, one on the boots over to the right, and then here on thankful. So not too many, they don't all have one, but I feel like it's evenly representative. It really brings like a rustic vibe. That's going to be Bobbie's hand lettering fall coffee and leaf spread. I love how it came together, and I hope you love it too, Bobbie. Thank you guys for hanging out with me while I put these two patron spreads together, and thank you so much to my patrons for your support. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye!